Yo, what is up YouTube? It is your boy the Nord here, and today what you guys will be watching is some ranked Uplink gameplay. Yes, after watching the FaZe vs OpTic grand final here a couple days ago for the MLG event, I was bitten by the competitive bug and decided to trade in my Morse for a bow and jump into ranked play. Now I know ranked isn't quote-unquote competitive, but I did lose my GB's partner whenever I transitioned to PS4, and I don't even think Colors is playing COD right now, so it is what it is. I have to make do with what I have. Hopefully I will be able to get another GB's partner here sometime soon because I did enjoy it, even if I wasn't the best at it. But I got ranked until then, and I'm not going to do this often. I just thought it would be kind of a nice little fresh change of pace for the channel because I've been doing a lot of cut comms with the Morse lately. But anyway, for this gameplay, the game's a pretty close one. I don't play so well here at the beginning though, up until maybe like the halfway point, probably a little bit past that. But I do end up turning it on towards the end, and like I said, it was a close game, so I hope you guys do enjoy it. I'm not going to spoil who wins or loses. I'm just going to say it was close up until the end. But yeah, so with this competitive idea in mind, I just kind of want to talk to you guys about a couple things that have been on my mind ever since the MLG event, ever since the OpTic versus FaZe game, really. I didn't really get to tune into the whole event. I only got to really tune in to that grand final, which really bummed me out, but I do have the MLG app now, so I should be able to kind of keep more in touch with the events. I don't know why I didn't have the app until now, but I do now. Anyway, a couple things that were on my mind was I wonder if Advanced Warfare can really be that springboard that kind of helps push esports into the limelight, kind of gets it a bit more mainstream. And I'm wondering if FaZe is really cementing its dynasty right now. Now, both of those things can be kind of misconstrued by context, so you're gonna have to let me kind of throw some details behind that. But let's talk about the FaZe one first, because that's kind of a weird one unless I kind of word it a bit better. So I know that FaZe has only won 2 events, and generally up until this point they've kind of been that team that everyone's written off. They really haven't been that impressive with their various rosters up until now. But let's kind of leave the competitive off to the side for a second. Let's talk about FaZe Clan as a whole, what it's been doing. Even for people who don't generally watch trickshotting and sniping, I feel like if you ask people who watched YouTube if they knew who FaZe Clan was, they would. And that's the one that you really attribute the main popular one, even though people don't really think they're hitting very good clips right now. Blah blah blah. People are, people hate. People always hate. But if you were to ask anybody who they think the most popular, sniping trickshotting clan is, and obviously by subs, it would be FaZe, even if they do have some inactive subs right now. But my point is, FaZe is kind of that brand that everyone's seeing right now, and with this Red Reserve team being kind of pushed off of that, even if Red's kind of their completely own unique thing, it still has that FaZe logo in that, and that's just going to continue to build that FaZe brand. I really feel like FaZe is kind of focusing on building their personalities so that whenever they do put out team tosses, it's like a personality team toss, because when you see clips by this person that you watch all their individual videos for, it's just going to be a little more personal for you. So I feel like that's kind of the area they're going for. And then Red Reserve is going to be like the more clip-based, hitting all this crazy shit, but you're still going to think FaZe whenever you see it, and you're still going to think that these guys are on their way into FaZe. So I just feel like in that respect, I wouldn't say FaZe is monopolizing. That's why I couldn't think of a good word, monopolizing or dynasty. But they really are pushing their influence, and they really are just making themselves bigger as a brand, even if people aren't really happy with FaZe right now. And kind of going off of that, now going back into the competitive side, now you have this FaZe team that people usually would write off. They were kind of the underdog team for the longest time, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they've only won these last 2 events. But in these last 2 events, from what I've heard, they've looked stellar. And when I watched these guys in the grand final, these guys were on point. Everyone on that team was doing absolute work, and I'm an OpTic fan. I mean, but kudos to those FaZe guys. Those guys went ham, censor Aches. Not an Aches fan either, gotta say that right now, but those guys were absolutely ham. So the fact people can't say these guys are going to be like one-hit wonders, or they're just going to win these couple events and then fall off. Like, these guys are really kind of pushing that FaZe image even more, because now not only is FaZe out in the entertainment, trick-shotting area, sniping, kind of pushing their image there, they're now also being pushed right into the limelight for competitive. So they're all over the place. Like, this brand, I feel like they're just cementing their dynasty right now, because everywhere you look besides pub stomping, you're going to see FaZe. Because this FaZe team is going to compete and compete hard. Like Sensor and Aches and Apathy and Slasher, these guys make a good mix. I mean, I still feel like the OpTic guys are going to rebound, and they're gonna hit it off, and they're gonna win some event. They're gonna win a fair amount of events. I'm just gonna call that right now. But I know people always hate on OpTic because it's OpTic. But my point is is that FaZe is really operating on all cylinders now, whether you like them or not, and whether you think that FaZe is doing the right thing with Red Reserve, whether you think FaZe is doing the right thing with how they're going a little more personality-based and clip-based, regardless of what you think right now, they really are going to be hitting on all cylinders. And the addition of Campy is going to be... I know a lot of people kind of hated that little Halo edition because they're like, oh, this is a COD team. That was brilliant by FaZe, because once people kind of adjust their standards and kind of start looking a little bit more at Halo, and especially how Halo is going to start hitting in the limelight a lot more, I feel like Halo competitive is going to really come back with Halo 5. I feel like having that little foot in the door for Halo is going to just kind of give FaZe just another venue to look at and just a bigger audience to grasp. So FaZe is hitting on all cylinders and really pushing their brand right now. I really feel like they're cementing a dynasty, because you're always going to remember FaZe. And now, no matter which community you are more of a part of, you will remember FaZe. So, that's my 2 cents there. I know that was kind of a garbled mess. Live comms or like straight comms are a little bit rough for me now. I kind of stumble over my tongue sometimes, but I hope that made sense for the most part. But, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, or go ahead and drop your opinion, guys. This is all just my opinion, but I really just feel like, you know, FaZe is on its way. And I like FaZe. If I had to pick a second team to like follow competitive, it would be FaZe, because I'm a big Sensor fan. Just not an Aches fan, because Aches is kind of an asshole. But he's a damn good asshole. He's like the Michael Jordan of assholes, because I mean, that guy playing with stitches in his hand and just being a boss. I don't know. We're not going to talk about that. He's a boss. Not a big fan of him, but he's a boss. Anyway, so let's kind of roll back over to Advanced Warfare being this kind of springboard for competitive COD as a whole, or really esports as a whole. Now, I know esports has really been taking off before Advanced Warfare. Black Ops 2 was a really big boost for them, and even through the shitty Ghost game, competitive COD was continuing to move forward, continuing to bring in more views and kind of push the event venues and stuff like that. So they were getting bigger on their own. But with how Advanced Warfare is, I really feel like the game modes are intense, and it really is going to continue to bring in even more viewers, and is going to like draw even bigger venues, because it really was, it seemed like in all the game modes, even Capture the Flag, which I know some pros have been kind of talking about, seems a little bit off for this game, but it felt like it was down to the wire every minute. Holy shit. I mean, I know this is probably just the grand finals. I know it probably wasn't like this the whole day, but it feels like this game is a lot more engaging with all like the abilities, like the exosuits, like that, the kind of different tactical things that come into play. I don't know. I feel like this game really like could push that entertainment value to more people. And I know that I saw I want to say Roy Hibbert, basketball player, tweet something out like esports is the next big thing, or, you know, competitive, yeah. And then he kind of like mentioned the COD guys, and so I mean that's big in and of itself, just that people are kind of recognizing it. And now I know that, you know, esports as a whole, I kind of like started out as esports as a whole. I know, you know, StarCraft 2 has been, you know, a massive game, and League of Legends is a massive game, but I also just mean kind of really rounding it out with this COD scene. Like, I feel like if we can continue to push off of this, and if Advanced Warfare can continue to gain steam, that's just only going to help the whole esports community just get out there more. And I would really love to see us, or I would really love to see the gaming community get its own like TV channel. Now I know TV is kind of going the way of Old Yeller, but it would still be cool to see them kind of like their own little ESPN, and I feel like people would watch. I feel like, you know, this is starting to become more and more viable. People are starting to take this more and more seriously, and it's really great. Like, it really does feel like a professional sport now, with just how they treat it, and with just how the game's progressing. So, I mean, there are still some problems with Advanced Warfare. Oh, I wouldn't say problems, but there could be some tweakings. For one, I mean, it's a BAL-heavy game, obviously. The BAL is overpowered. I guess we can call it, yeah, we can say it's overpowered. But I don't know if you necessarily should change that. Because right now, how the game looked, at least in the finals, is it definitely looked like, even though it was BAL versus BAL combat, it looked like it was very balanced BAL versus BAL combat, and that, I don't know, it just seemed, everything just seemed like it was meshing well. Now, you could try to nerf the BAL and kind of hope to bring in some, like, the submachine guns and kind of give them maybe a couple of buffs and kind of push that a little bit, but I'm not quite sure if you want to really mess with the BAL competitive balance right now. I'm not sure if I'm really saying that right, but that's what I'm kind of wondering. I'm wondering what nerfs would do to this game, like what it would do to like just how the game feels and how it looks. I mean, I think it's worth a try nerfing some guns and trying to get some more guns into competitive, but I guess we'll see. Also, game modes, I'm kind of sharing the sentiment of the comp guys. I'm not quite sure how well Capture the Flag balances in here. I feel like Hardpoint is an amazing and intense game type, and I feel like Uplink is a very intense game type as well. Definitely loving how Uplink looks and seems to be playing right now. But other than that, I'm not quite sure. I mean, CTF is still CTF, and I love CTF and Black Ops 2, but you kind of got to wonder if maybe it'd be better just to have double Hardpoint and Uplink and then double Search and Destroy as the game modes for Advanced Warfare. But I don't know. Anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. I just kind of wanted to give you guys that little bit of kind of look into what I'm thinking right now. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys think I'm a complete idiot, or if you guys somewhat agree, let me know. As you guys can see there, we pretty much put a really commanding lead toward the end. We really kind of took over and kind of blew those guys out. Actually, 2 of the guys who were on the mics actually left, so that was kind of funny. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.